up, potty people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be testing out some new stuff from Colourpop. So they just released this new Making Mauves collection, and I'm intrigued. I didn't buy the entire collection just because I don't need it. I wasn't interested in everything. I just got a couple of things and then a couple of like miscellaneous items as well. Kind of like a mini one brand tutorial, one brand review. So here's a Making Mauves palette. So very, very pretty and snazzy. But I almost feel like it may be too late for me to get on board with this, just because I feel like I'm kind of past the mauves trend. Like, I was in it for a hot minute. Like, I was in the whole pinky mauve, berry, purpley tones for a lot of months. And now I'm kind of getting back into like the neutral tones, like browns and tans, and just, I don't know, just kind of getting back to my roots. So hopefully I can still find a place in my heart for this. Then they also released a couple of blushes in the Making Mauves collection. Now, I didn't get both of them just because I'm trying not to be wasteful and I'm trying to just get what I'm interested in. So I only got one shade. So this is the pressed powder blush in the shade Catch My Vibe, which is a really pretty, just everyday, basic pink shade. Like, I wouldn't even really call this mauve, but I mean, yeah, I'm not super familiar with the pressed powder formula. Like, I have a couple, but matte blushes just really aren't my cup of tea. But I figured we'd try the shade out. I have this Coconut Beach pressed powder bronzer. Is that what it's called, Coconut Beach? I don't really know, but I haven't tried their pressed powder bronzer formula at all, so I figured we'd give this a whirl today. And then they also just released these Lux Glosses, which look really nice. I haven't really heard anything about these or this formula, but yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and dive in. So if you like videos like this where I focus on Colourpop, then make sure you give it a thumbs up if you want to see more like it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and turn that notification bell on to always see my videos. And without further ado, let's dive in and try some new stuff from Colourpop. I do want to go ahead and show you what the palette looks like up close. So you definitely do have more mattes to shimmers. You only have 3 shimmers in here, which is fine. I do like more of a matte selection anyway, but I will say something that has kind of bothered me about these like 9-pan, 12-pan, like pretty much all their palettes, is that I feel like they're not always arranged the most aesthetic way. Like, I just feel like it could look so much better. Like, all these palettes could look so much better if they were arranged differently. So yeah, I just feel like having all the shimmers in the middle just So let's first go into R&R, which looks like, I don't know, like a very pale pinkish mauve. So I don't know if that's going to be light enough to set my eye primer down, or if it's going to be good for like the start of my transition. So let's just, I don't know, let's just take it on a fluffier brush and pretend like it's going to be a transition shade, because it does look a bit darker on my brush. So we're not going to set it, I guess. I can see this palette being really pretty for bridal season, like for brides, bridesmaids. That's really, really pretty. Okay, so now let's go into Solitaire right next door to it, which is just like a slightly darker mauve, I guess you could say. So I'm just going to take that on the same brush and just go a little bit lower, but keeping it in the crease. So from here on out, with each darker shade, I'm just going to get lower and lower. And I will say that I definitely do see a difference in formula between the single shadows and the shadows that are in the palettes. And I've actually had some people comment and say that they finally tried Colourpop, like they tried a palette and they just don't really get the hype. And trust me, the single shadows are way better. I don't know why, but they're just more pigmented, they're more high quality, they're more blendable. Like, I have no problems whatsoever. Like, that's my favorite formula. But I do have several Colourpop palettes like these in my collection, and I never gravitate towards them. I don't know if it's because of the arrangement, because I'm all about how something looks. Not packaging wise, but just how it's arranged. So, you know, that could affect me gravitating towards something or not. But I do see a difference in formula, so I just want to point that out. But so far, I'm having a pretty easy time with these. So yeah, that shade doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, it just adds a slight bit of like warmth and definition. Also, I do want to point out that I said that there are 6 mattes in here. This is a sequin shade, so kind of like the Tati sequins formula. It's a matte base with glitter throughout the formula. Actually, let's just use that one. Okay, so this is very, very dusty. The mattes are pretty dusty. I don't know if you can see that from there. Basing this off of how the Tati sequins formula works, like, it works better, like it shows up more if you tap it on. So I mean, I guess I can see a little bit of that sequin glitter in there, but it's mostly matte. Like, you can basically treat it like a matte. But I will say that I am having a really easy time working with these. Like, they are blending out really easily and all that good stuff. But I will say that all the shadows are kind of fusing together and just looking like one. I don't really see the differentiation from one to the next, which could be a good thing, because at least there's no lines of demarcation. But I don't know, like, I'm not really seeing each individual shade that I'm putting on. So now let's go into, here's the thing, like, all these shades are kind of like light to medium mid-toned shades. Like, the only dark shade in here that you can use to deepen up your outer V or whatever is this one down here, which is like a figgy plum. But yeah, they all kind of, like, they're in the same like depth range, I guess you could say. So yeah, I'm just gonna take that like figgy plum looking shade called Marquee. I'm just gonna slowly work on building this up. I did go ahead and swatch the shimmers just to kind of figure out what I want to use, and I feel like this one over here called Mauve on Top, I feel like that's a Super Shock formula. I could be wrong. I know they've started putting the Super Shock formula in some of their palettes, so I'm not really sure. Does it say? It doesn't say on here. It just says pressed powder palette, so I'm not sure. But yeah, here's what the shimmers look like. So really, really pretty assortment. Let's do a mixture of those two shades. So first let's go into Mauve on Top, which is that darker shade. So let's first try it with my fingers. So, ooh, so juicy and wet looking. It's like my favorite kind of formula. Oh, wow. That's really shiny. I love a good shimmer that's metallic, like right out the gate. Like you don't have to wet it. You don't have to do anything special. It's just automatically wet. Yeah, that is really pretty, but I'm not getting the precision that I want, so I think I do want to go in with a brush and just wet it, or maybe I don't even have to wet it. I don't know. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm just leaving this on the center. I'm not bringing it in too far. Like I'm leaving this entire inner third open for that lighter shade, just for like a gradient. But I will say it's not packing on very well with the brush. This is actually a Colourpop brush that's made for this formula. So this is the Colourpop. Oh my god, why didn't they put the names on them? I don't know what this is. It's just like a flat brush that's made for the Colourpop formula, but it's not really showing up. So let's just go back in with my finger and do the deed. We know this works. Now let's go into Bi-Coastal. Yeah, which is, it's like really pretty, like icy mauve-y pink. Let's take that on my pinky. I'm just gonna put this in that inner third, like in my inner corner where I left it blank. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do the rest of my face because there is a lot that I don't have to show you from Colourpop. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll come back and show you some cheap products and then a lip gloss. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back with the rest of my face. And I did go ahead and do my lower lash line off camera too, just because I didn't want to waste time. You guys don't need to see that. So let's go ahead and move on to the bronzer and blush. So once again, this is the Coconut Beach Pressed Powder Bronzer. I'm pretty sure Coconut Beach is the name. Yeah, it's a really nice, like silky matte bronzer. The whole Going Coconuts collection is all more of a neutral tone. Like the palette's more neutral, everything. So yeah, hopefully it's not patchy or anything. So I'm gonna try with a different brush, which is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna try it anyway. I'm not having the best skin day today, so I'm hoping that these products kind of redeem it a little bit. But I mean, I'm not having a whole lot of blending issues or anything. It's just not, I don't know. It may be the brush. Let's go in with my normal bronzing brush on the other side. I probably shouldn't try something different. I love like a natural goat hair brush for most things. So it is pigmented, but I am finding out that whenever I dip my brush in, number one, there's not a lot of fallout or dust or debris or anything, but it's also not overly pigmented, which is a good thing. I'm gonna go back to this side and just kind of blend over that a little bit, but yeah, here's what the bronzer looks like. So yeah, it's a really nice tone. I feel like the neutrality of it is gonna be pretty complimentary on a lot of different skin tones and whatnot, because it's not too warm or too cool, but I mean, I'm not like overly impressed, astounded by it, and it could be again because of my base just not being very up to par today, but yeah, it's good. I'm not knocking it, I'm not in love with it yet. But moving on to some blush. So again, this is the pressed powder blush in the shade Catch My Vibe. Very silky once again. This is matte, and yeah, I'm not typically into matte blushes, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, it definitely is more on the cool tone side, but I wouldn't really consider this to be a mauve-y pink. It's just more of like almost like a pastel pink in a way. But oh my god, it is very, very dusty. Okay, so hopefully it's not too pigmented. I'm just gonna start back here towards my hairline. You always want to start your blush and bronzer and pretty much everything like further back towards your hairline, because if it is too pigmented, then you don't want all the concentration to be in the center of your face. You would rather be back here where you can kind of blend around a little bit. So just a little quick tip. Oh, my skin is so dry today. I really like that. I didn't think I would, but that's a really, really pretty tone. Like I said, it does look more neutral on the skin, and it just looks really youthful and just, I don't know. That's really pretty. Alrighty, so moving on to the lip gloss now. So I do want to go ahead and apply a lip liner underneath, but as far as lipsticks and stuff, I'm just going to see what the gloss does. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the Makeup Revolution Satin Kiss Lip Liner in the shade Chauffeur, which is the prettiest nude. Alright, so in this Lux Gloss, I got the shade Ticklish, which is a really pretty, like, nudie peach. Ooh, it has that nice giant doe foot applicator. Okay. Very thick and not very pigmented. It's a very sheer gloss. It has like a really nice vanilla scent and flavor. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty ones. Is that what they're trying to be? Yeah, very sheer. It's kind of like a peachy clear shade. Like it's not super pigmented at all. This is pretty thick and kind of goopy. Like whenever I smack my lips together, they kind of stick, like that you can see the little pulling. I mean, I will say that usually thicker glosses do have better staying power, so that could be a plus. Like even though it's doing that like pulling thing, it doesn't feel super sticky, it feels thick. Let's just do a little rundown as far as what we use today. So yeah, the Making Mauves palette I actually really do like. I actually didn't even put on eyeliner. I kind of alley glanced it today and just put on some mascara, but I really like the tone. I really like how everything blended out. The shimmers are beautiful. I do feel like some of the mattes in here kind of translate to be almost the exact same on the eyes, even though they look kind of different in the pans. But yeah, I wish there was kind of more variety when it comes to depths and tones in here, but as far as the overall theme, it's very, very pretty. As far as the bronzer goes, I mean, I can't say that it's my favorite right off the bat. I mean, I'm just gonna have to play with different products underneath and whatnot, because like I said, my base today just really isn't up to par. It blended out really easily. It wasn't too pigmented. It was more of like a buildable bronzer, so that's always a plus. That's my favorite top. Yeah, I'll let you guys know this may become a favorite of mine. I don't know. But I would probably say the blush I'm most shocked with. I actually really do enjoy this blush. And like I said, I don't typically like matte blushes at all, but it just looks so youthful and it's just a really flattering tone for my skin tone. I don't know, but yeah, highly recommend that. And then the gloss, like I said, I'm just gonna have to keep playing with it. I'd like to see how it wears on top of other lipsticks and stuff, just to see if it's like super goopy with lipsticks underneath. As far as how it looks right now, it is really nice and glossy. It's very, very comfortable. Like I know I said it's thick, but it's actually really comfortable, especially if you're someone like me that has really dry, dehydrated lips. I usually like a thicker gloss because it feels more moisturizing to me. So, I mean, I really don't have any qualms with it at this point. It's like, as long as it doesn't get goopy or like sticky feeling, then I have no issues. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some good reviews from it. And if you guys want to see more Colourpop based videos like this, and make sure you give it a thumbs up to see more and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next one.